watching what Trump did from the way he campaigned in 2016 and he got in, similar to you, you were getting 7 seconds of airtime. In Brazil, they give candidates time, mainstream media in Brazil, they gave you only 7 seconds in the morning, 7 seconds in the evening, Monday through Saturday, but your opponent, Haddad, was getting 12 minutes in the morning, 12 minutes in the afternoon, and you were still able to win by, with only $1 million because the people wanted you, right? But that was you in 2018. President Trump wins in 2016 against Hillary Clinton, less money, she had double the money, she had mainstream media, she had everybody. All the publications, everybody favored her, not him. 2020, COVID happens, Biden gets in, 2022 Lula comes in. Trump comes in 2024, but you've seen how he's gone against his enemies, okay? You've seen how he's attacked everybody, or what different approach has he taken? What have you personally witnessed that's different from Trump in 2016, 2020, 2024, that maybe you could apply in the way you're moving forward for 2026?
First, the American judicial system is different from ours. They don't have political involvement in the decisions. Take a look at Trump. He has his point. Many admire him. There you can donate openly to the party. It's now forbidden here. During campaigns you can donate, but people are afraid to donate to me. I do not accept donations under the table. But I understand that our current proposal, taking into account how Brazil is being governed, more and more we will have people by our side. For example, the Christian audience equals 1/3 of the Brazilian population. Were with me for the most part. Now it is even more so, because they make the necessary comparisons. Here in Brazil, we even suspect, right? I will give you the image, you post it, if that's possible, showing my travels around Brazil. Many sectors of society, like agribusiness, which make up 1/3 of Brazil's GDP, come from the countryside. These people fully supported me. Christians, more than 80% are with me, integrating the armed forces, not explicitly. But the crowd's vibe, they sure like me. Security forces, military police, civilian police to the northeast. A construction project was stalled for 10 years. We delivered water to the northeast. No corruption. We invested a lot here in infrastructure with limited resources, but without any misappropriation. Through my minister, Tarcísio de Freitas, who currently, given his work as a minister, he is from Rio de Janeiro, but was elected governor of the state of São Paulo and is doing very well there. Like other people, we have been making leaders across Brazil. I know several of our candidates. You take Nicolas Ferreira, Gustavo Gayer, Eduardo Bolsonaro. You can take Sanderson. Suco in Rio Grande do Sul. You take André in Fortaleza. Alberto for the state of Amazonas, and many more across Brazil of young people. More than 100 active young people. We elected the city councilors last year. You will not find anyone on the left with that ability to engage and communicate with the people. I've always been careful to separate what is good and what was not very good. I kept it to myself and we helped to form these leaderships. Above all of that, I'm sure that this campaign of 2026 will be much better than the one in 18 back then and the one in 22, that we are convinced that something happened. That's why I always say, I hope the Supreme Electoral Court removes the secrecy of inquiry 1361 from November 2018. Let's put an end to any doubts about the ballot boxes. Well, as I already told you, I'll say it again. The suspension exists for much of the Brazilian operation. If you only suspect, what does the press say here? That you are attacking the ballot box without evidence. But the press itself is afraid to ask the Superior Electoral Court for an investigation that in 3 pages decides what happened here and clear it up in the year 2000, 22, and also in 18. Well, after all that, I have to trust my country. December 30th, 1922. At the end of my term, I went to the United States. I went as the President of the Republic. And I stayed there for 3 months. I had the right to have stayed there longer, but I decided to return, taking all possible risks. Nowadays, a large part of the population is convinced, is certain, if I had stayed in Brazil on January 8th, when there was that invasion here in the Three Branches Plaza, I would have been arrested that same night and would still be in jail today. Because the next day, Lula, who always sided with the dictators and supports Hamas, supports Hezbollah, posing as a great Democrat, who has made that the January 8th meant to be proof that I wanted to overthrow the government, that I wanted to carry out a coup d'etat right there at Disney with Donald Duck and Mickey by my side. And without money and without me being organized with any authority or entity in Brazil. They thought back then that the thing in January was proof that I wanted to overthrow the system in Brazil. That's why they kept 1,500 people in prison for months. And now they are being sentenced to up to 17 years in prison. There is no coup. A coup happens to a person, an authority, not on buildings like it was done here. And we condemn the destruction and invasion. We never did that. But it was something planned and designed by the left. I'm going to say a word and you ask me. It's a message for a Brazilian authority, light prison. This authority knows what I'm talking about, so that he starts worrying, what do I want? I want to solve the problems. It's not my problem. I want to free my country from a dictatorship. That all the time, not just some of the Supreme Federal Court, but the Lula government itself wants through a project to censor the social media here in Brazil. I have not taken any measures against social media or traditional media that have always attacked me. I was the example here of freedom of speech in our country, completely different from Lula. And that some, especially Alexandre Moraes, wants inside the Supreme Federal Court. They are the truth. It would even be redundant. What is fake news or misinformation in Brazil? It's anything that those few ministers of the Federal Supreme Court do not want or think that it's an attack on them.
Brazil, I'm so glad you're watching this. I want to tell you something here. Do you know what's the one thing tyrants or criminals in politics, in your government, you know what's the one thing they hate? Is for the people to have hope. It's been said, man and women can live 40 days without food, 4 days without water, 4 minutes without air, but only 4 seconds without hope. When I was in Brazil, we had dinner with Nicolas Ferreira. And while we're having dinner, we gave him a shirt and we took a picture together. It's called Future Looks Bright with Brazilian flag. I would love nothing more than to see thousands and thousands of people in Brazil to wear a shirt that says Future Looks Bright with your flag. Just for Brazil, we made these custom shirts for you. If you want to inject the spirit of hope in Brazil, go place 1 order, 2, 3, buy it for your peers, your family. Click on a link below or go to vtmerch.com and sport your Future Looks Bright shirt in Brazil. Let the dictators, let the tyrants get so angry the fact that you are optimistic about the future. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.